How do you feel if you're a player and you play for Atleti and you see yourselves set up against a team that you're better than? Atleti are a better team than Leipzig. I don't think that's really debatable on their day. Obviously, Leipzig winning today. So why did Simeone set up like this, and why did he leave some of his star players on the bench?
I almost think he gets off on it, Dan, because, I think it's a disgrace, really, when you think of the tactics that he adopts. Very, very defensive. They stay in their shape. They're very, very rigid. And I'm trying to get into the head of someone like Joao Felix tonight, and how must he feel coming off the bench and was absolutely head and shoulders above everyone on the pitch. The kid was different class, and he's now out the Champions League. I think I sent out a tweet earlier about saying, can you imagine if the very biggest of clubs come in for Joao Felix, how good they could turn him. They could turn him into an absolute superstar and one of the world's very, very best. And he's got to try and play and come off the bench and play in a rigid defensive system. It must be a nightmare for him. It goes against the grain of the kid. The kid's an expressive player. And when he's on form, like Mbappe was last night, I'm not putting him in that bracket, but certainly when he cost that amount of money and the talent that he's got, the kid should be playing in a system and a team and a manager that is on the front foot and trying to score goals and trying to create chances.
How do you feel from a player's perspective, Stevie?
I would think Felix would be very frustrated, but I think the important thing there is, Don said he's a kid, and that's what he is. And so when you're a kid, you keep your mouth closed. If you're an experienced campaigner, then you'll turn around eventually and say, look, just like you asked me, what's going on here? Unfortunately, a young player has joined a culture, because that's what Atletico Madrid are. It's a culture. You're walking into a side with Saul, Koke, all black and gold, Savage. These guys are absolutely drilled in the Simeone way, and anybody who comes through that door falls into the culture. So that's what this team is. It's just a culture of not making any mistakes, sitting back, let the other team take the initiative until we have to. And that's why Joao Felix doesn't even start, because he doesn't do the job. It's not about showing your class and showing us what you've got. It's about doing a job, and he doesn't do a job for Simeone, so he doesn't start.
Part of that culture, Diego Costa as well, who did nothing, Don. Zero in this match.
No, he done nothing but credit the centre-half, or credit the three centre-half, because they absolutely bullied him. And as Stevie said before, Upamecano was just unbelievable. He's sensational when the ball's at his feet. He can take players on. He steps into midfield. He plays the right passes, but he's physically absolutely immense as well. So Diego Costa trying to have a fight and trying to bully him was never, ever going to happen. And the kid put him in his place. But that's why I tried to predict Atletico last night, Dan, because I thought, and I don't know why I thought this, because I should have known better with Simeone. I thought he would have started Morata, and I thought he would have started Felix, because as a pair, you could see there was a relationship between them two. Every time Felix got the ball, he was trying to bounce little 1-2s off Morata. And it's, people might say, well, that's easy in hindsight. No, that's Simeone's fault. He should have knew that before the game. He should have knew that the two players that he went for from the start were never going to get any joy out of Leipzig's three. Never, ever.
I remember us having arguments in the past, Stevie, about Diego Simeone and where he goes from Atleti afterwards. And I was saying, yeah, but he's a winner. He can come in and he can bring silverware to wherever he goes. Yet you look at a performance like that tonight from his side, and you do wonder whether or not he could take over pretty much any other big club and get away with what he does at Atleti.
I'm not so sure about that, Dan. All the big clubs now that are all playing proper attacking football. That's not what Diego Simeone does. And you can understand that if Atletico Madrid were a team full of, low budget buys, 20 and 25 million and put together, and everything's about fighting for your life, you could understand that, but they're not. I don't know whether Don mentioned it, but we was talking about it earlier. They had 200 million's worth on the bench. So you're going out and spending crazy money on players and then asking them to sit behind the ball. I mean, you won't get away with that at the big clubs now. Your Barcelonas and Real Madrid and Liverpool now and City, all the proper teams. You can't do that. So, yeah, I would bet against Simeone being able to do anything other than what this team does for him.
I think I was like you, Dan. I think a couple of years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, when Simeone's stock was really high, and he was getting linked with jobs in the Premier League and a team like Arsenal who needed that sort of manager, I was actually thinking, oh, Simeone could come in, he could make them a little bit defensively better. But I think his stock's gone down tonight. I think all the owners and all the people that watch football enjoy watching football, and the game's moved on. I don't think the very biggest of clubs in the world now will be chasing Simeone.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.